Hey, greetings guys. Welcome back to the channel, and I'm going to give you guys my full rundown comparing the Galaxy A53 to the Google Pixel 2 XL. Now, let me just be frank with everybody. This is not to see which one's more powerful or any of that. This is literally just to take an older flagship device and run it alongside a modern mid-range device. And in this scenario, I'm going to tell you guys up front, these phones complement each other. Okay? And I'll break it down later in the video why. But to just explain what I mean is, you got a mid-range device released in 2022. It's about to be a year old, okay? And it's fluid. It's got enough power to do the things that I need it to do. Cameras, photography, all that is just great for a mid-range device of 2022. And how it complements the Pixel 2 XL is that it shows that even though the Pixel 2 XL has years, it has age on it, it can still contend against devices today. So it lets you know that this phone is built to last. As a matter of fact, Google Pixel phones are built to last. So they complement each other. It was a great experience using both of these side by side. So I want to start off with the camera department because that's one thing that a lot of people love to do is just capture life's moments. With the Galaxy A53, you have these 4 camera sensors on there, right? You have the regular wide angle, the ultra wide, you have a depth sensor, and you have a macro sensor. And so you can get pretty playful with it. It's got a ton of modes, features, and things like that, including using native Snapchat filters in the camera, like the camera app itself. On the downside to it is the camera bonded with third-party apps. Using apps like Snapchat, Instagram, if you use the camera natively in those apps, which activates your camera sensor, there's like a 2 to 3 second delay when you snap a photo, and sometimes it comes out grainy because of that delay. And even recording a video in third-party apps, and you will see the struggle that it lags to grab that video. So like, I would definitely advise people, if you're going to be recording a quick clip for Snapchat or whatever, whatnot, and you're going to speak in your video, give it about 2 to 3 seconds before you start talking. Otherwise, it's just going to be like this really weird, glitchy intro to it. But with the native camera app itself, photos, videos, superb. Great for just getting those life moments. Now, the crazy thing about it is running it alongside the Pixel 2 XL, you'll notice the 2 XL only has 1 camera sensor. So things like portrait mode that you get with the Galaxy A53, you're achieving the same thing with 1 camera sensor. And they're about on par with photos when it comes to portrait shots, when it comes to zooming in, digital zoom, and all that stuff. Does very well. Crazy thing is that the Pixel 2 XL only's got 1 sensor to work with, and you have all these 4 sensors on here. So it's not really like a win, like one wins over the other type of thing, but it lets you know that you're going to get life's moments great with the Galaxy A53, and these camera sensors you can be very playful with. It's no slouch using a Pixel 2 XL with 1 camera sensor, and it's actually quite impressive that it's able to do a lot of what this phone does with these sensors. You could do it with just 1. So again, I didn't feel like I was left in the dust with anything. There's just one thing that edges the A53 over the Pixel 2 XL, and it's not even the photos and how it's processed or anything like that. But it just comes down to a very small thing that's not even a very big deal at all. Some of you guys won't even care about this. But for me, I love having the fact that I can signature stamp my photos directly within the camera app after I snap a photo, by enabling watermark, which I feel like, because Google touts a lot about photography, they should incorporate a watermark within the Google camera system to let you know it was shot on Pixel. I'm just saying. The next thing I want to talk about is the fluidity of both phones. Right now, of course, this is running Android 12. It has not gotten Android 13 just yet, so I'm not going to say that Samsung's on par with like keeping up with their 4 years of software support, 5 years of security patches. I've yet to see Android 13 on this, and Android 13 has been out for a little bit already. And come on, Samsung, update it. But anyways, yeah, Android 12 on here, Android 11 on here. So of course the experience is going to be different, but it would have been different anyway that they were both running Android 12, because this runs one UI. So it has a skin on top of Android. It's got all these additional features and stuff that you can do. Theming and things like that makes the phone fun to use. And I think that's really where it comes down on why I grabbed another Galaxy A53 for me to personally have while my wife keeps hers. And that's just, sometimes it's fun to play around with the editing and see what you can come up with. And I like that with the One UI. Um, with the Google Pixel 2 XL, there's not a lot of theming that you could do natively through Android. You would have to download third-party apps to be able to achieve that level of this, or basically root your phone and install a custom ROM to achieve that. But downright Android 11 is all right. It's decent looking. I mean, a lot of people still prefer Android 11 over, Material U UI, which was introduced in Android 12 and up. So some people still prefer the older style of the Android. And so really, when it comes down to it, the user interface and how it looks good on both of them. I'm not going to complain, right? It's Android. So really, there's not like a significant, huge difference between them. As far as their processors, right? And how it processes commands basically executed within the user interface, they both do very well. Now, there is a little bit of jank when it comes to the Galaxy A53, speaking truthfully and honestly. When you really start to really push this phone to its limits will show. Whereas the Pixel 2 XL, I've pushed this phone to its limits and its limits don't really show. And it's still smooth as anything. Hardly any issues at all whatsoever, any hiccups or anything like that with any app that I use. Whereas on this, if I have like a bunch of apps open and everything like that running in background, of course the RAM is sapped and it will show you that it has a weakness. And so on that point, that the Pixel 2 XL really shines when it comes to software optimization and processing power and images and things like that. 2XL obviously still shows its fangs, being as old as it is. As far as build quality, people do care about build quality. And the Galaxy A53 surprises me because this is a polycarbonate plastic device, but it feels really good in the hands. I mean, it is kind of squarish, so like a box feel to it. But, it's not uncomfortable to hold. And I think a lot of people who have the same problem as I do, which is called the glass anxiety, being afraid to accidentally drop your phone and cracking the back of your phone and having a spider crack phone. Some people can walk around with their phones like that and still continue to use their phones. I can't. It's really hard for me to do that. So yeah, the fact that it does not feel like a cheap phone at all whatsoever. And comparing it to the Pixel 2 XL, which is a metal build with small glass at the very top, they feel on par with each other, to be quite honest. Battery life on both of these things is good. This is a very old phone, and it feels like that it's not even time for me to try to go and get a battery replacement done in it. The battery pretty much lasts me pretty much all day for what the size battery that's in the Pixel 2 XL. I can take it off the charger at about 7 o'clock in the morning, and like right now, it is currently sitting at I want to say, where's it at? It's sitting at about like 45% battery left. And with this one, I've been using it pretty heavy this morning. Took it off the charger at about 6 in the morning. It's 3 in the afternoon, and we're sitting at 54%. So as far as battery, it's getting me through the day. Have no problems there at all whatsoever. Pretty decent. Here's where the Pixel 2 XL also shows its other fangs, and that's on audio quality. Both of them sound really good when you're watching videos and you're playing music, but the Pixel 2 XL has both front firing speakers, which does actually make a big difference when you're watching video and stuff like that, because it's shooting right at you from both front firing speakers, whereas on the Galaxy A53 you have a top firing speaker and a bottom firing speaker, so you kind of have to cup your fingers to shoot that sound around directly to you. So in that, the Pixel 2 XL does really good in audio, but still, I really wish that all my smartphones had the same speaker setup as the Pixel 4. That Pixel 4 speaker is just phenomenally good, and I wish they were on both of them. But they are pretty good as far as audio. Gaming and stuff like that, I play Pokemon Go. I play, Angry Birds 2 and stuff like that. They handle it just fine. No glitches, no stutter, no lag, jank, or anything like that. The displays, the colors are awesome on both of them, so I have no complaints there whatsoever. I think they both look nice for what they are. Blacks are deep blacks. But the overall thing is that when I use the Galaxy A53 alongside with the Pixel 2 XL, one does not seem weaker to the other in that aspect. So that's just basically like the main rundown, is like they're basically on an equal playing field. And I guess if you want to call a winner, someone may maybe call the Pixel 2 XL the winner because it's an older phone that's hanging with a newer device. Some may even say that the Galaxy A53 is a well-optimized mid-range device because it can hang with an older flagship. Either way, these are both great options, and it was really fun to use these phones side by side to see who was going to edge the other one. And in this scenario of what I used, one is not completely edging over the other one, giving the other one a defeat. So that's all I gotta say about that. Pretty long video. Hopefully you guys took something from this. Thanks for checking it out. If you want me to compare the Galaxy A53 to another device, let me know, and I'll start using them and start working on it. But until then, thanks so much for watching, and as always, aloha.